The clue's in the name, right? It's not kill everyone in Tarkov, it's escape from Tarkov. Today we're looking at my top tips for increasing your survival rate and the benefits that come along with getting out of raids. Let's do this. I'm Gaz, welcome to the channel. If you find this video helpful, consider leaving a like and a positive comment for the algorithm. Subscribe so you never miss another video from me. Just a point before we start here, I know how hard it can be to focus on survival rate when you're questing and you need to hit those high traffic areas. I'm currently on a questing kick myself, which has seen my survival rate take a bit of a hit. However, over the long term, your survival rate will increase following these tips, and surviving is the absolute best way to make money in Escape from Tarkov. With that being said, my first tip is to use a kit that you are comfortable with. If you're struggling to win your fights, getting frustrated and dying a lot, trying out that new gun that you found isn't necessarily the best idea. You do better to save your bankroll and pick a loadout that you can afford to run something like 10 times in a row. I have a video on the channel already covering a good level 1 trader loadout, but the cliff notes on that one is to grab a cheap level 3 helmet and armor and something like an SKS or a Kedda. Personally, I've been enjoying the Kedda lately with its ability to spray while up close, and the Kedda also makes the decision for you as to whether or not you engage that player in the distance. Keep it simple, run the same or a similar loadout in every raid and learn that weapon like the back of your hand. Tip number 2 is to go into each raid with a goal and not to get carried away. For example, in the early game, you'll run into quests like the Golden Pocket Watch and the Golden Zibbo. In this situation, you'll take your standard kit into the raid as normal, then slowly work your way from spawn to the quest location, looting only the buildings and containers you pass on the way while remaining vigilant. Then, once again, you work your way slowly to the extraction. This way, you'll complete the quest, get the XP for surviving successfully, and be able to sell anything you find along the way. Another little tip I'd like to add here is to learn how long you need to be in the raid before extracting in order to save yourself from a run through. The parameters here change constantly, but currently you have to be in the raid for either 7 minutes or earn around 450 XP for the raid to be classed as successful. Remember, XP comes from everything from kills to healing to looting. Tip number 3 focuses on movement and navigation. This is one of the smallest changes to your game that might have the biggest impact. It's simple really, it goes like this. Move quickly when you're out in the open and there isn't a lot of concealment. This will give anyone taking pot shots at you a more difficult target to aim at, which is good as you'll have nothing to hide behind. Then, when you get into cover, your movement should change to a slower and more methodical style. While you're moving slower, take advantage of your headset. Stop every now and then to take in your surroundings and listen for bushes and trees moving and footsteps close to you, as well as gunshots in the distance to know which direction you should move in. Your job is to escape, not engage, so if you hear a lot of movement and you can silently move away from the path they are taking and let them pass, this is often going to be your best bet. You don't have to take every fight you come across. Tip 4 revolves around map knowledge. As you're moving through the map following the movement strategies in tip 3, you'll need to know the hot zones and traffic patterns on each location. Admittedly, this one comes with time in a map, and I'll shamelessly plug my video talking about which maps to learn and only playing on 2 or 3 maps until you're comfortable. With the help of a site like mapgenie.io, as well as experience in the game, you'll begin to learn where other PMCs spawn, the directions they head in straight off spawn, and the areas of the map that have the better loot and therefore where players are likely to be in the first 15 to 20 minutes of a raid. With that knowledge, there are 2 planning phases when entering a raid in Tarkov. The first comes before map selection, when you're choosing your loadout and figuring out your goal for the raid. The second comes the moment you spawn into the raid and need to make a quick action plan based on the potential movements of other players. There isn't a whole lot more I can add here, as this one will definitely come with patience and being aware of your environment, as well as sticking to just a few maps until you get a feel for how they play. And for our final tip, let's talk about escaping. When you finish with your raid and are happy to get out with the loot that you have or that quest item you needed, you're going to need to know all of the available extractions. Again, I'm going to call on the invaluable work that mapgenie.io do when it comes to the detailed map guides, which will list all of the extractions as well as spawns and loot on each location. However, on top of learning each extract on a map, it's also a huge benefit to be able to tell which extracts are available in any given raid. Each location has a list of extracts when you load in as a PMC. We'll take Shoreline for example here. If you spawn in the village, or on that side of the map, you'll have Road to Customs, Pier Boat and Rock Passage as potential extracts. If you spawn on the other side of the map, near the radio station, instead of Road to Customs, you'll have the Tunnel. Depending on which side of the map you're on, either Road to Customs or the Tunnel Passage will always be open. However, Rock Passage and Pier Boat only have a chance of being open. Rock Passage, which is north of the resort, will have green flares that are quite visible from a distance if the extract is open. A quick glance at this extract and you'll know whether or not it's a good idea to head in that direction to escape. Other maps like Customs will have a campfire that's lit at the Smuggler's Boat extract, and lights on at the Ruaf roadblock if they are available. Extract camping at the main exfils is always a small concern, as a high concentration of players funnel towards those extracts, making it an easy way for those players to hide out of sight and spring a trap on unsuspecting prey. As always, awareness is the single biggest factor in ensuring your survival in any given raid. So those are my 5 tips for increasing your survival rate in Escape from Tarkov. Did I miss anything? Let me know what you'd add to make the list even better. As always, a like and a positive comment for the algorithm go a long way in helping this video reach more people and letting me know that you enjoy the video. Subscribe to stay up to date with all of my Escape from Tarkov guides and videos. We've started live streaming here on the YouTube channel too, so keep an eye out for those or catch the video as it's uploaded after. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.